All right, everyone. Welcome to ARWP, the All Real Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Eric Novak, and today we have a special guest. He is trained by Booker T. He is Reality of Wrestling's own Will Allday. And before we get to that video, I just want to take a quick heads up on this awesome Sandman Kendall Up Your Ass t-shirt that I got from Three Falls Band. Go check out Three Falls Band. They have all the coolest rock and wrestling inspired merch. They have La Parka. They have Rey Mysterio. They have Sandman. They have a lot of ECW stuff coming out. They have the cool Stone Cold shirt coming out. Go check them out. They have some awesome merch full of awesome surprises. They got stickers, magnets, anything you can think of. Just go check out the website. It's all in the bio below. All right, guys. I'll see you at the end of the interview. Will Allday, all damn day.
Yes, sir. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on, Eric.
Of course. Thanks so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Let's start with the first question. It's what made you become a pro wrestler?
Well, I've just been an athlete my whole life, so it was kind of a natural transition. You know, after college, I tried to play football a little bit in college, and I'd always kind of been into like entertainment and acting and whatnot. So it's just a perfect mesh of the two, man.
Awesome. All right, but what made... Because, there's a lot of sports. Wrestling isn't something people just jump into and leave their lives for. Wrestling is a really, really hard thing to grasp. You lose a lot of yourself to gain more about yourself, to find yourself. How would you describe wrestling for your first year? You know, your first time ever lacing up the boots, getting in the ring?
I would just describe it as natural. It was almost like it was meant to be. I had done the path that society leads you to believe that you need to do, that everybody needs to do, and that's go to college, get a job, get a girl, settle down. But, you know, I had graduated. I had worked for like 5 years in oil and gas, and then I decided that, you know, it's now or never. It's either I shit or get off the pot. So I finally did it. I jumped in and I just picked it up quick. And I think that has a lot to do with me being a little older and, you know, having experience in life and knowing that I don't have time to waste as well. So, you know, it's been the happiest couple of years of my life, and I wouldn't change anything, man.
Awesome. Also, I want to talk about a big thing, Reality of Wrestling. That is your promotion. You know, you are, in my opinion, the face of that company with just a lot of your matches, a lot of things that I've seen. You know, I feel like times have changed to a point where we didn't have something like this back when you were trying to even apply to wrestling schools. Now you have a televised, you know, Reality of Wrestling was originally a school that became its own, like, television. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about how you found Reality of Wrestling.
Well, when I knew that I was about to jump in to do this, I had researched and seen, you know, what the best places were to jump into something like this. And lo and behold, like the city I was in, Houston, Booker T runs his school, Reality of Wrestling, which used to be called PWA. And, you know, it was like God just telling me that this is my path. And so, you know, I jumped down there and I went to watch a show before I signed up, you know, just kind of feel it out, see like what my competition was. And, you know, I had got to the end of that show and I think I had more passion than I did coming in. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I can do this. This is the place for me. And it's great that, you know, in the past couple of years that I've been there, that they have grown exponentially. You know, they have like a massive YouTube presence now. They have like, they're in front of people all over the world. You know, the right people are watching it as well. And you got Booker T, a two-time Hall of Famer, who is running this promotion, you know, along with Kevin Bernhardt and Brad Gilmore. Those guys are helping him produce. But, you know, with a name like Booker's, it's going to bring eyes, and I'm thankful that I'm a part of it.
Of course, you know, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and when there isn't that much great wrestling out, Reality of Wrestling always gives me, you know, amazing content. People who haven't seen it should definitely check it out. It's every week, new episodes, and you guys just came back. I saw the newest episode where there was no audience. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool that, you know, finally you guys are getting back at it, because it's so hard and it's so scary during this pandemic. What could have happened, what would have happened when everything is shut down. So I'm happy to see that you're back on my YouTube screen. I'm happy to see that.
Good, yeah. We've had a few empty arena shows. They kind of model themselves after like WWE. So we did a few shows like that. We've had a drive-in show where
The tag match. You had a tag match.
yeah, and we're having another drive-in show September 12th down in Texas City. So that'll be great. You know, it was great. Everybody loved it, not just the company, but all the fans. So hopefully we can make a little adjustment and, you know, just make that better each time until the time we can start having our regular shows back. But this is a great audible by Booker and the boys. It's been pretty fun, and you know, I'm glad to be a part of it.
Awesome, and it's good. Again, like I said, if people haven't checked it out, they definitely should. It's something that you won't find anywhere else. It's its own thing with its own roster. It's amazing. But let's talk more about you. Let's talk more about your past. What you've done before reality of wrestling. Have you done any major matches that you want to talk about? Because I know I saw you on Fight TV. I saw you against Ace Austin. Great match. Loved it. Tell me more about outside of reality wrestling. What are your goals? Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years, 3 years? What is stuff that you plan for the future?
Well, I got into this to be the top guy. I didn't get into this just as a hobby or just for fun. I got into this to be at the top of the mountain, and so that's where I see myself. I don't know how long that'll take, but I'm going to keep busting my ass until that happens. And whether that be New Japan or WWE or AEW, like those are the three major companies to me right now. But there's a lot of paths, and whether that be being on the indies and building your name, whether that be going into one of these companies that's on TV like Impact or MLW or NWA, which I'll be on the NWA's new weekly pay-per-views on every Tuesday starting September 15th. It's Primetime Live.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they are partnering with United Wrestling Network, and Dave Marquez has been really good to me. He runs Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, and I am part of that roster as well. So right now it's really just getting my name out there, getting in front of more people who matter as well, who can make decisions, and I always say I just need one chance. So hopefully that the right people are watching, man.
I hope so. But it's great to hear that you'll be on NWA. That's a huge get. NWA is also one of those promotions that came out recently on YouTube televised, and they have such an amazing roster. Can't wait to see you mix around with the other rosters. It's gonna be amazing. Tell me more. And I love what you said. Hey, you want to be the best. I want to be the number one, the showstopper. You remind me so much of Shawn Michaels. That's like the mentality. Was that what you were going for? Not to be the next Shawn Michaels, but to have that, charisma in the ring. Your look is just so familiar to his, and I think that's what makes it really interesting that we have that idea, the style, the boots, the tights. You still wear the gloves. It's really cool to see, the future of what is wrestling.
Yeah, so actually, everybody in the beginning of my career always said I looked like AJ Styles, I guess because of the gear. So I tried to change up as much as I could so people would stop saying that. And I guess now it's more like Shawn Michaels. But I don't really emulate my look, at least after anybody. Just I like the shiny stuff. I like the shiny purple. I like the shiny silver, and nobody else has those boots. So, I'm rocking them, and I always get comments about them. So I'm not stopping now. But to answer your question, no, I didn't model myself after Shawn. He actually was in the first match I ever watched, which is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. But that was his last match. That was the last time I saw him, the first and last time I saw him. And my favorite was always like the more grittier guys like Steve Austin. And, that's still my favorite to this day. I love the attitude that he exudes. I love the aggression, that's what I really model myself after. And then you have the eye-catching clothes to kind of make up for that. You got to appeal to all demographics. So, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to check all the boxes. But, I think earlier in my career when I wasn't exuding as much confidence as I am now, it was a detriment because I didn't want people to talk bad about me or think that I was just cocky. But that's not it. It's just like an unwavering belief in myself has taken me to where I am today. And that has nothing to do with anybody else. That's just me believing in myself. So, I think that once that clicked for me is really when I started like firing on all cylinders. And that, I am a big proponent of believing in yourself, and I'll tell that to anybody.
Awesome. Well, of course, no one wants you to be the next Shawn Michaels. You want to be the first, Will Allday, and I completely understand that. I didn't, and I hope when I talked about it, I didn't explain it as like you're trying to be Shawn Michaels. I just said
No, you're good.
I just and like I said, no, I agree with you. Your look, you're the purple and gray, and silver and purple, and I love it. I love the look. It's unique. You won't find anywhere else, and it's what makes you you. I've seen so many of your matches, especially the triple threat with Alex Shelley, another great match people should check out. And you did amazing stuff in there. Also, I want to talk about your finisher. It's a very famous finisher with whoever uses it, in the independent scene or in the main roster scene. What made you come up with that finisher? And tell people what you call your finisher, because there's many names for it. But what do you call specifically? Because it's like I'm gonna say it's like the Claymore and it's like a rocket kick, but you do it like what do you call it?
So it's actually like a running knee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I pulled the knee pad down. That's why I have my autograph on that knee pad. That's another little change that hopefully I was trying to catch people's eye with.
I saw
be
it.
a little creative.
It's a really cool one. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, so I call it the autograph because, once I hit you, you got an autograph of me right across your face. But yeah, it's a running knee, and I'll do that, and I'll hit like a senton from the top that I try to make pretty special. And I was always just thinking of stuff that I could really do out of nowhere, stuff that would be sudden, but also have a build up if needed. I just needed something to be able to take down anybody, and I think I found that.
Awesome. I like it. It's really, and again, that kind of move, it's hard for someone to sell it the way that you do. So the fact that you do it right and people like obviously react to when you hit it, that means you're doing something right.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you very much.
Of course. Okay, tell me about the largest card you ever worked and the smallest card you ever worked.
Shoot. So, like a handful of months into me starting wrestling, I wrestled in front of like 20,000 people in the Toyota Center in Houston for WWE's Monday Night Raw. I did an enhancement match with Kurt Hawkins and got the victory by DQ. But
it's still the victory.
I'm 1-0 in WWE right now, so I'm looking to build upon that. And then the smallest, oh man, I think I wrestled on an all-women's show. It was Rise. Yeah, I think Rise had come down to do an all-women's show down here at Reality of Wrestling, and so they ended up putting one men's match on. Mm-hmm. And so we were pretty excited for that. It was like a 5-way or something. And they were like, yeah, you guys are going to be the first match on the show. And we're like, awesome, cool. The crowd's going to be hot. We're going to kill it. Then when we get there, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, so, you guys are going to be on the pre-show. And so we kind of were deflated a little bit, but like, okay, that's fine. People are still going to be in here making some noise. We'll be able to entertain. And then it changed again. And then the Rise guys were like, oh, no, you guys are going to be like during the meet and greet. And we were like,
wait, what? During the meet and greet?
Come on. Yeah, come on, man. Like,
how do you do that?
I don't know, in front of 5 people that got the meet and greet at that time. And I don't know if it was just bad timing because the crowd ended up being all right for the actual show, but the meet and greet had maybe 5 people. And I think the people cheering us were actual like wrestlers that were doing their merchandise tables. And so it was definitely a mark in my career that I had put in my mind that I never wanted to happen again. So it was not great, but lesson learned.
Of course. There's a lot of lessons in there. All right. Yeah. So let's talk about a thing that I enjoy. You've wrestled like almost everywhere in almost every one Tell me about the strangest match you've ever had. Either it was the arena. I mean, that could have been it. Really, that story could have been it that you wrestled during meet and greet. But
Yeah.
give me something else. Give me something that you had a bad feeling about. That you're like, is this really a wrestling show? Because I've heard many answers to like the creepiest horror stuff that they had to go through. What is something that you had to go through? If it could even be like traveling, it could be like they took you the wrong way completely.
I don't really have any, honestly. I mean, I wrestled in a strip club one time.
That's
That was
unique.
pretty cool for
That's
fist
unique.
combat. Fist combat in San Diego. That was actually really fun. The ring was tiny, terrible ring too, but really fun show. Really fun show. And like a lot of the intermission type antics that they had was there was a strip tease and then like strippers walking around. So it was pretty cool to be a part of. But other than that, though, I don't really have any like dingy or like weird stories. I try to limit my shows. I don't try to go work 4 times a week. I just try to do shows that have value or that will get me where I need them to get me, and then I pay them back by kicking ass on their show. And so I don't try to. I don't try to be a road warrior right now because my goal is not to be on the indies forever. My goal is to be, in the major leagues. And so that's what I'm doing. That's the path I'm taking. And I'm only doing shows that will help get me to my destination.
All right, awesome. And I agree with you. You're taking it smart. You don't have to hurt yourself every week doing
Right.
small shows. You want to get ready for. You want to be noticed. You want that opportunity to hit, and you're gonna be there. I like that. So tell me
Yeah.
about a few places that you want to wrestle in the future, like a few venues or like just sentimental values.
Man, I'd love to wrestle a real match in the Toyota Center. I tell you that, whether it be for, like I said, any of those major companies. I didn't think I wanted to go to Japan, but I think I do now because I really appreciate their sport first mentality. I really appreciate that type of wrestling because being an athlete my whole life, I think I gravitate towards that. And here in the pandemic, when you're doing a lot of shows without fans, or with very limited fans, that's essentially what it is. It's combat. You're in the ring, in the arena, one-on-one with the other person, and I love that feeling because it's much more real. It's much more guttural to me, and so I think that first little item I want to check off my bucket list is doing something in Japan.
All right, awesome. Speaking of Japan, have you been watching their product recently? If you haven't, it's fine. You're a busy guy. But if you have, they started doing like a U.S. Tour kind of thing where they've started taking wrestlers like Danny Limelight, TJP, so many.
Yeah.
Have you been watching it? Have you been like interested in signing up? Because I know there's a dojo in L.A. that they go for. Have you been doing any research on that for New Japan?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you do. Anybody at my level right now trying to aspire for greater things needs to do as much research to get where they want to be. Things don't just happen by sitting on your butt. You got to get up and make things happen. So, yeah, I've been going in networking and getting to LA, and that's definitely on my bucket list, man.
Awesome. Also, I believe I've seen you on Impact a few times. You have been in the Impact ring, correct?
Yes, once.
Once. All right. Have you ever wanted to go back to Impact? Have you ever wanted to? Because I feel like Impact is really overlooked right now. It's
Yeah.
actually, as they just, did some anniversary, and they have Bound to Glory coming up. They have an amazing roster. I think you'd be very fitting in Impact because they take time in their wrestlers and take time to build them into, champions, worthy champions. Have you been doing any research with Impact?
Yeah, man, it's a great company, and obviously, like in the past, I used to watch that when like AJ Styles and Samoa Joe were there as well. So I've known about that for forever. But I think they're doing some really cool, fun things, and they have a really young roster that is very talented. And like you said, they do have the time that they're putting into these guys to help build them, and I think that's great. like you said, I just wrestled Ace Austin last weekend, and I didn't realize how good he was until like I got in there and talked with him and got in the ring with him. And man, he's impressive. He really is. So, if there are a lot of guys like that in there, it might be one of the places to be right now.
I like that. I like to hear that. All right, let's play your fun game. I play this game with all my, interviews. There are 10 wrestlers on your list. Who would they be that you want to wrestle in the next year that you have not wrestled yet? Or if you have and you didn't pick up the win and you want a rematch, which I don't think there's really that many matches like that, but
Where are you talking about, like independent wrestlers?
anybody that's signed, just not too many. Like if you're gonna name signed wrestlers, don't name too many of them. Give it like some independent, some signed.
Okay, you want me to give you a handful? Well,
Yeah,
I'd love to wrestle Alex Shelley again one-on-one. That'd be fantastic. He blew my mind with a lot of just knowledge that he passed down. Obviously, if I get up there, I want to wrestle AJ Styles. I think he's been the best in the world for a decade, so that would be amazing. Yeah, I'd love to wrestle Cody Rhodes. I think he's shown that he's jumped level over level in the past couple of years, and he's one of the best in the world. I think he's fantastic and just knows when to slow it down, how to wrestle, how to tell a story. And so it would be awesome to learn from these guys right there. And then I know I've wrestled my buddy Cam Cole dozens of times, but it's always great wrestling him because we always do better each time we go out there, and it's fun going out there with your buddies and making magic. That's pretty cool. Along with Fly Def, which is Warren Johnson and Zach Mason. They're also on reality wrestling television. I love wrestling with those guys because they're just so solid. They're so energetic and electrifying. Really, it's fun to be in the ring with those type of guys. It gives you that energy. But I don't really do this too often where I give a list. I just enjoy wrestling in general. There's not a whole lot of people I aspire to wrestle, or there are places I aspire to wrestle, because then you have the option to wrestle all these great people. There's a reason why these people are signed to NWA or Impact or Ring of Honor or all these companies, is because that they're pretty damn good. So any of those guys I get in the ring with, I think is going to be magic, man.
Awesome. All right. Now let's get to another fun part of this, and it's you talk about some of your matches. If the people that are listening to this right now have never seen your work, which I doubt, tell them a few of your matches. Give a couple that you think people should definitely check out. It's once in a lifetime. It's 5-star classics.
Yeah. You should definitely check out Will Allday versus Brendan Steen in a street fight for the television championship at Reality of Wrestling. I think still to this day, that's one of my favorite matches. And you should check out that whole series. I loved working with Brendan Steen. He's fantastic, so professional. Also, I wrestled Mysterious Q for the TV title. That's definitely worth going and taking a look at. My match with Fighting Words Promotions against Ace Austin this past weekend. It's on Fight TV. You should be on the lookout for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, which starts to air this weekend. I'll be all over their TV. They have a new booker, and he's put some faith in me. So I think a lot of the stuff I'm going to do there is going to be pretty good. And really, just check out my YouTube channel. It's at I Am Mr. Allday, and I have a list of matches on there that I think are worth your time. So go look at the playlist there, and you'll be pretty happy that you did.
I know I was when I looked at it. There was a lot of great matches. Everyone should go check that out. Let's talk about another part of I love to bring up, and it's gear. We talked about it a little bit, but I want to get more into it. Now here's my question, and I know you may not have an answer for it, but just think about it. If you had your big moment, let's call it a WrestleMania moment, any big moment in your career, what would be the dream gear you would wear? What would be the special gear that you wear for that moment if you had an idea?
Well, I'd probably wear my shiny silver boots.
The famous boots.
And I'm getting a very cool purple jacket made. So, once I get that, that's probably going to be what I want to wear with all the bells and whistles on it. And then, I just like my classic lightning gear, and whether that be purple, silver, or black, it it doesn't matter to me. I think that's just who I am now, is revolving around those colors, and anything with that I think is really going to personify Will Allday.
Awesome. All right, now tell me a little bit more about the design, the lightning, all that. Tell me why you chose that in your gear.
I chose that just because of like energy and electricity, and that's what I want to bring to the table. I want to bring, fast-paced, hard-hitting aggressiveness to the ring, and even to my promos. When I get the mic. But that's just the style I like to work, is in your face, coming at you nonstop. You're gonna have to kill me to put me down. That type of mentality.
All right, awesome. All right, now let's get to another part that I love to talk about. It's merch. Everyone loves to buy merch. What do you have planned for new merch? What can people buy your merch now? Talk to me about something's coming up. What you wanna bring out?
Yeah, so I have all damn day or all day flat bill caps. I have like kind of those dad caps, the white one that says all day. I got shirts with all damn day and a bunch of different designs. And you can hit me up on any of my social medias for these right now, or come see me at a show. But yeah, I mean, I got the basic stickers, shirts, hats type things, pictures. I was gonna bring out some new tank tops, but with the COVID thing hitting, I think the summer merch season's kind of running out for me.
There's always gym nuts. People go to the gym. It's always good to have a tank top.
True.
All right, one thing I want to bring up. I'm a big action figure collector. When it comes to wrestling, I want to know if you have anything coming up with that. If you ever wanted your own figure, or you ever talked about making a figure, was that ever something that you considered?
Yeah. Once I get into these, top tier companies, that's the dream, is to have things made after you. And that's a lot of the reason why you have to find your own style and your own look, is because you don't want your action figure to look like somebody else's. So that's something you got to be real cognizant about.
All right, awesome. I love it. All right, where can people find you on social media? Where can people support you in any way? Tell me, are you on Twitch? Tell everyone where they can basically just give you a follow, support you, hear all the news, where you're going to be, when you're going to do it.
Yeah. So thank you. So if you type in Will Allday, I should come up. But if I don't, the handles on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook are at I am Mr. Allday. Just like it sounds. Don't make it harder than it has to be. So hopefully you guys give me a follow and we can interact on there.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, man.
I hope you all enjoyed that interview with Will Allday. Everyone, if you have not heard of Will Allday, if you were living under a rock and you had no idea who Will Allday was, go check him out. All his information is in the bio below. His Instagram, his Twitter. He is a rising star who's going to be main eventing very soon. He is wrestling 24/7, main eventing every single show. Go check him out. And once more, go check out 3 Falls brand. I love my Sandman Can Dope Your Ass shirt. I know you're going to love one too. They have Stone Cold, La Paca, Rey Mysterio. They have everything you can think of. Rock and wrestling inspired merch. Finally, what else do we need? I love rock and roll. I love wrestling. Let's put that together and go check them out. All their information is in the bio below. And if you're new to this channel, we have some awesome interviews. Go look through them. We did Brian Cage, Chris Bay. We did one with all kinds of wrestlers from all kinds of companies. Matt Cross, Son of Havoc. Go check them out. Go follow me on all my stuff below. My Instagram, my Twitter, everything. Go check it out.